Mic check, mic check.
Mic check, 1, 2, 3. Oh, who? Is that her? Oh, that's her doing.
Okay, they hear us. They hear us. They're good.
Happy Monday, everyone, and thank you so much for being with us on this Monday. We appreciate you taking the time to stream with us. So we'll get you caught up on our forecast here at home in just a bit. Also talking about a nor'easter impacting the East Coast, and also President Trump in Egypt right now. So we'll fill you in on the details with that. But we want to start a bit closer to home here. We began with a news alert out of Clayton County, and that's where we've gotten news that a 6-month-old baby boy has disappeared. This happened yesterday, and investigators have no idea where he is, who might have taken him. So our Kim Leffler is joining us now with the very latest on this. And Kim, good morning to you. A very concerning case. A lot of people worried about this.
Yeah, absolutely. Clayton County police officers are on scene here at this apartment complex off of Valley Hill Road. This is the last place that 6-month-old baby was seen, and it appears they are searching the wooded area behind this building here. Now, neighbors tell us this 6-month-old, his name's Nikai Pratt, that investigators have been here searching since yesterday. They were here for about 12 hours yesterday. We did see 3 vehicles taken from this apartment complex to a little after 6 p.m. and then 1 more later in the evening. And neighbors tell us all of those vehicles belonged to the baby's father. This neighbor we spoke with said that police focused on one unit in particular yesterday, which is, she says, belongs to the baby's father. However, that is not where the investigators are searching for today. Now, take a listen to a little bit of some of the concerns from that neighbor that we spoke with.
But I did know he had twins recently, but I have never seen them. Don't even know what they look like. We didn't know nothing till the police started coming around here. And then when they started talking to him and we started figuring it out, because like I said, they were out here holding one of the twins.
Now, police say Nikai's black male, 2 feet tall, 11 pounds, with black hair and brown eyes. They say he was wearing a brown onesie. But again, police officers on scene here investigating at this hour. At last check with the police department earlier today, they told us that this is still under investigation and they should have updates for us later today. And of course, we will keep you updated as the investigation here continues.
Kim Leffler live with the very latest on this. I know a lot of developments hopefully will come from this. So, Kim, thank you so much for filling us in on that. We certainly appreciate it. Well, turning now to the Middle East, that's where President Trump is in Egypt right now. He left Israel on Air Force One a bit earlier in the day. So he is speaking right now. He arrived in Egypt for a peace deal signing ceremony. Let's listen into what the president is saying.
Mr. President, would you like to say something with the interpreter?
Yes. اسمحوا لي في البدايه ان انا ارحب بفخامه الرئيس. وانا سعيد وكل شرف موجوده في شرم الشيخ مدينه السلام. يسمح لي فخامه الرئيس ان انا اسمي واسم كل المصريين ويمكن حتى لكل محب السلام راجل لك التحيه والاحترام على تحقيق هذا الانجاز الرائع والعظيم.
Well, first of all, Your Excellency, I welcome you to Egypt. It's a great pleasure and an honor to have you with us here in the city of peace, Sharm el-Sheikh. Allow me also to extend, on behalf of all Egyptians and peace lovers around the world, salute, the appreciation, and the respect for this unprecedented and momentous accomplishment by your hands.
أنا كنت متأكد فخامة الرئيس أنك الوحيد القادر على تحقيق هذا الإنجاز والإنهاء.
I've been very confident that Your Excellency is the only one who's capable of bringing this about and bringing an end to this war.
وأنا في خلال اتصالي بفخامة الرئيس ذكرت له ذلك بدقة. قلت لفخامة الرئيس أنت وحدك القادر على تحقيق السلام في منطقتنا.
I even said that very precisely during my communication with Your Excellency, that you are the only one who is able to bring about peace and to achieve peace in this part.
بشكرك فخامة الرئيس.
I thank you, Mr. President.
ولكن عايزين نستكمل نثبت وقف إطلاق النار وفق بصراحة كل الرهائن وحتى يعني للأسف الجثث المتبقية في أسرع وقت عشان تسلم إلى ذويهم في إسرائيل ثم إدخال المساعدات ونستكمل باقي المراحل.
And what we need to do now is to fixate the ceasefire, make sure that it maintains and sustains, that we can deliver all of the remaining, the bodies of the deceased to their families, and this is very important, to bring in more humanitarian assistance into the strip, and working very closely on following up the rest of the steps that should be taken to make this successful.
Mr. President, you did very great. Thank you.
That's very nice. Thank you.
He's a good man.
Thank you.
He's a good man. We're with him all the way.
Will he be on the Board of Peace, sir?
I'd like to have him on the board. I'd like to. We may need an interpreter, but that's okay.
غالبا الرئيس موجود أنا حابب موجود.
As long as the President, His Excellency,
You can't do
presides
better.
the Board of Peace, I'll be there.
We've had many leaders want to be on the board, actually. The Board of Peace, it's taken on, Steve, I'd say a life of its own. Do you want to discuss that? What's happened?
I think we have a long list of applicants to be on that
Yeah,
board.
everybody wants to. That's very nice. That's better than the other way. Usually it's the other way. Nobody wants to be on the board. But it's really taken on. This whole thing has taken on a life that's very different. So it's been really a great honor. And you people have done a fantastic job. I want to tell you that we appreciate it very much. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, thank you, guys. Go, Browns, go, thank you. Thank you, Browns, go.
Hold it one second.
أنا عايز دعم فخامة الرئيس ورعايته معانا في مؤتمر إعادة الأمن.
I just want and look forward to Your Excellency's support and your sponsorship with us in the conference for the reconstruction.
Thank you.
100%. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
All right, thank you, Brad. You guys, let's go. Thanks, guys. Let's head out. Violet done. Oh my God.
All right, so what we were just hearing there, President Trump there with several leaders from there in the Middle East. And all of this is coming after we saw President Trump earlier this morning in Israel giving a speech to Israeli parliament, talking about this historic ceasefire deal that was signed between Israel and Hamas. And basically part of that, a huge part of that, was bringing home the 20 hostages who were still alive, who'd been held by Hamas for over 2 years since we saw what happened there with the initial terror attack. So again, President Trump left that on Air Force One, made his way to Egypt. We saw him there in a room full of dignitaries from here in the U.S. and from the Middle East as well, trying to continue brokering this peace deal. There was a peace deal signing ceremony, and we were just listening in to a bit of what President Trump had to say about that. But we'll do a deeper dive into what he's doing there and what came from that historic meeting here in just a little bit. But in the meantime, I want to bring it back to something closer to home, talking about our frontline heroes, our first responders who do so much to save the lives of so many. They work so hard, but one of the impacts that they're finding is that they're losing sleep in the process. So there's an initiative to change that, and we'll take a look at that right on the other side of this. Welcome back, everyone. Let's get you to a few of the stories that we are following this morning. Beginning with this one, a teenager is in surgery this morning. We're told he's fighting for his life. This is after he was shot in East Atlanta late last night. So let's get to the details on what we know about this. Police say it happened off of Flat Shoals Road near an intersection with 3 gas stations surrounding it just a little after 11 p.m. A witness told police that a vehicle rolled up to a group of friends who were walking by the area and then started shooting into that group of friends, and that's when a 16-year-old boy was shot. Investigators are saying the teen lives nearby, and when it happened, the friends that he was with took off running. Police say they received conflicting vehicle descriptions, so they're still trying to sort through that information. I imagine at this point, too, they're also looking at surveillance video from one of those 3 gas stations in this area. They also gathered about 10 shell casings from the scene as well. And then, like we mentioned, you know, hopefully a tool that they're able to use in this investigation will be surveillance video from those gas stations. So we'll keep you updated on what we learn with this. But again, that 16-year-old fighting for his life after getting shot in East Atlanta. And turning to this one, State Representative Mandy Ballinger has died after a battle with cancer. She represented Georgia's 23rd district, was the chair of the House Judiciary Juvenile Committee. Governor Brian Kemp issued a statement yesterday saying that Representative Ballinger was a, quote, passionate leader who was respected across the political aisle as an advocate for justice in our state. And one of the more notable things that she's known for her work on campus carry legislation. She introduced the final bill in 2017 that allowed individuals with carry permits to bring firearms onto college campuses. So again, State Representative Mandy Ballinger has passed away after a battle with cancer. That's just some good news to share from the Arthur M. Blank Foundation, and this is one that we will see have some pretty big impacts here in the metro area. They just announced a $50 million donations in, let's see, historically Black colleges and universities here in the city. So that money will support about 10,000 students with gap scholarships. And what that is they're looking for students who have exhausted all of their funding to be able to complete their education, and they're struggling to finish paying their bills off. So that money will go to help them out. Those students also have to be in good academic standing. So the goal of that is to raise graduation rates at Clark Atlanta University, at Morehouse College, at Morris Brown College, and at Spelman as well. So the foundation's president is saying that they are happy to be able to do this. They're saying it's a material investment in hope. It comes just days after the Trump administration promised to redirect nearly $500 million in federal funding toward HBCUs and tribal colleges as well. All right, we are going to get to something that we're following this morning. A really interesting story, and something that you might not think a lot about, and that is the sleep of our first responders. There, so many of them who work 24-hour shifts find themselves losing sleep. In fact, it's about 85% who experience sleep deprivation when they're on those crazy shifts that they work, those 24-hour shifts. So joining us this morning, we have Lori Oliver. She's the co-founder of the Inactive Company, just to talk a little bit more about this and about what the company is doing to try to alleviate some of that. So Lori, good morning, and thank you so much for being on with us.
Good morning, and thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Of course. Let's start with this. I mean, what does the lack of sleep truly mean when it comes to, safety and performance of these first responders?
It is critical. As you probably know, and we're hearing more and more, sleep really is the foundation of health, and it affects absolutely every system in your body. It affects everything from your mood to your physical health. And for first responders, it especially affects things like their decision making, their ability to respond quickly with and impulsively, their physical ability to respond. So it's critical for every part. And as you mentioned, with first responders working the irregular and long shifts that they do, sleep is really hard to come by, but they really do need to get that critical 7 to 9 hours every night to be effective.
So, Lori, you're the co-founder of the Inactive Company. So tell us about the company and what you guys are doing to try to help this.
We were founded right before COVID because my co-founder, Jill McRae, and I were also insomnia unfortunately, we suffered from insomnia as well. We are both business executives. We actually met each other when we were on the leadership team at another local Atlanta company that you may have heard of called Spanx.
Yeah.
And, and we're also moms. Between us, we have 7 kids in 2 different families. And we were managing quite busy lives, also traveling the world in our work. So we did not sleep well. We were trying to be healthy people, and we kept thinking there has to be an easy solution. We tried the expensive mattresses. We tried, pillows, melatonin, all of the things that were out there and available. But we said, what else could we do? And I was working with several entrepreneurs at the time and came across a sleep mask, which interestingly was very similar to what Sarah Blakely found when she found the girdle. And the sleep mask, like the girdle, had been around for 100 years, had never been innovated, but it had a lot of science and a lot of solution behind it for people that didn't sleep. So we decided to take the elements of the sleep mask and really innovate it to parallel with science and help people sleep better in an accessible and easy and portable way.
And without getting too techie on us, give us an idea of I guess the difference in the sleep mask, what makes it so special, and then how it's able to help with recovery and alertness, specifically for these first responders.
Well, first responders, as you know, half of them work at night, and that really is when a lot of their calls come through, which means they have to sleep during the day. The biggest problem and barrier to sleeping during the day is sunlight, and complete darkness is the most critical factor to signal your brain and your body to go to sleep. So the first thing we did was try to design an ergonomic mask that could literally fit anyone's face and provide them with complete blackout. So we put wires literally inside the mask. They're covered, but you can mold this as you put it on, so that no matter the shape of your head or
customize it.
You can customize it to fit you. The second thing we did was temperature regulation is really important. So we have a lot of people in our research that said, I'm so hot. And that makes sense, because as you go through your circadian rhythm, as your body begins to wake up, your temperature increases. So we really wanted to have an easy solution to help regulate temperature so that you could sleep. The mask itself could stay cooler longer, and your face could stay cooler longer and help you sleep a little longer. So we literally built in a temperature regulation that is used at NASA, a lot of performance equipment and athletic teams. It's a high-tech, just very simple cooling that keeps the mask not only cool, but also breathable, and it's still even washable.
And that's the thing, you got to get the temperature right. It's like nobody wants to be hot when they're sleeping. So, so it sounds like, that was an important factor in developing this mask. So you guys have a special promotion happening this month. Tell us about that and how some of those funds will be used to help first responders.
We do. October 28th, really this whole month, but especially October 28th is National First Responders Day. And in honor of that, and in honor of all of our hardworking fire, police, 911, EMS personnel, who really, unfortunately, don't get a lot of recognition. I used to be married to one, so I feel like I can say that in their defense, but we are doing a promotion. We invite everybody to go to inactiveco.com. And if you purchase a sleep mask, which we hope you'll try, and we think it will be helpful, you can get a 25% discount if you use the promotion code RESPOND25, and all proceeds will go to the First Responders Foundation this month to help families and first responders recover and get all the services that they need.
Yeah, that's so good to hear. It really is. I want to know more about the partnership between the Inactive Company and first responders. How did this come together?
It's fairly new, to be honest. The National First Responders Day only really came about in 2024, last year. The idea started back in 2013 with the Boston Marathon shootings, and the brother of one of the fallen first responders really took it on to create National First Responders Day. the First Responders Foundation really does a great job in integrating programs that help not only, like I said, the first responders themselves, but importantly, their families. So we just felt like, and especially as a former wife of a police officer, that would be a great way to support these critically important folks. We did a lot of research with not only first responders, but with military veterans, as well as athletes when we were developing our products. So first responders have always been close to our heart, and we want to do anything we can to help them.
Yeah, certainly good to hear about this, Lori. I guess most importantly, where can we go? I mean, even if you're not a first responder, you can still need to improve your sleep and, you know, and need a little help there. So where can we go to get our hands on one of these? And then also just to kind of learn more about the partnership and just what you guys have going on.
Please do go to our website, inactiveco.com. Take a look at our sleep playbook, which will give you tips to help you sleep better if you struggle at all. And then take a look at the Inactivator sleep mask. And if you feel compelled, please do buy it. It's $45 retail with a 25% discount with the code RESPOND25. It comes out to be about $33, which all the proceeds from that this month will go directly to help first responders.
Okay, one more question for you. I know that we all probably should feel the same way about this, Lori, but do you have a message for first responders or maybe even families of first responders, since you know what that's like with you mentioning at one point your husband was a police officer. So what's your message to those that find themselves in that role?
Our message is sleep is not a luxury. You are important to us. Sleep is critical to your health. So please do everything you can to get sleep. You are protecting others. Please also protect yourself and get the sleep that you need.
Now that is a message that we can get behind. Lori Oliver, co-founder of the Inactive Company. Lori, thank you so much for sharing with us what you guys have going on. Your, by all accounts, amazing product and how it's going to help so many this month. We certainly appreciate it, and it's good to meet you.
Thank you so much. Same. Take care.
You too. All right, switching gears, we have something really big that's happening tonight. And if you are a football fan, I don't have to tell you what it is because you already know. But tonight, the Dirty Birds will be taking on the Buffalo Bills, giving them a run for their money. And it's a home game, which is also pretty exciting. So not only are fans excited about this Monday night matchup, but it's just an extra special one on top of that because it's celebrating 60 seasons of Falcons football, which is something that we can be proud of. We can get excited about. We can rally together for this. So tonight, things inside the bins will look just a little bit different. Let's take a look at what some of those differences that you might notice. But the field will feature a design that we haven't seen since the 1960s. So that should be an exciting addition to all of this. 60th season flags will be given out at the gates. So that's something to look forward to. Also, a limited edition throwback collection will be available at the team store. And if there's one thing I've learned about the Falcons in my years here in Atlanta, it's that the Falcons have the best merch, the best swag. So for sure, if you're going to be out there today, it's worth popping into a team store to see what's being offered this go around. And then this, you can't miss this. Atlanta rapper Jeezy will be headlining the halftime show. So they really are pulling out all the stops to make this obviously a show on the field for the game, but quite a halftime show on top of that. And then this, I heard our meteorologist Alex Forbes saying that the roof will be open tonight, which makes it exciting as well. And so that means that the weather will be cooperating for the game tonight against the Bills. So by all accounts, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, the place to be tonight. Those gates open up at 5:30 and the game starts at 7:15. So, all right, rise up Falcons. Let's see you do your thing tonight against the Bills. Looking forward to watching that. Well, still ahead for you this morning, we are going to do more of a deep dive into the ceasefire deal that was brokered between Israel and Hamas. The final of those 20 hostages who are alive are now back home in Israel. So we'll take a closer look at all of that right after this. Welcome back, everyone. Thank you so much for streaming with us on this Monday. I want to get you to the really big news of the day, and this is that breaking news coming out of the Middle East, and that is the remaining Israeli and Palestinian hostages have been released. It's thanks to that ceasefire deal that happened between Israel and Hamas. So a convoy carrying the first of those 20 released hostages out of Gaza was met with cheers as they returned home to Israel after more than 2 years in captivity. This is certainly a long time coming. We're told that those who were part of that group that was released, all heading to hospitals across Israel to receive treatment and just to, can only imagine the ordeal that they've been through just to try to get them transitioned back into life. So President Trump was in Israel today to meet with the families of those hostages. He then addressed Israel's parliament about the next stage in this years-long war, which was a long speech, but it was a speech with a little bit of humor, quite a bit of hope, in a time for President Trump to share the pride that he felt in being a part of this historic ceasefire deal. So let's listen in to part of that conversation that President Trump had this morning.
With this week's ceasefire, we've achieved the most challenging breakthrough of them all, the most challenging breakthrough maybe ever. I mean, I've never seen anything like. I've been involved in a lot of success. I have never seen anything like what's going on today all over the world. People are dancing in the streets, not just in Israel. They're dancing in the streets of countries that would have never danced in the street about what's happening today. They're dancing in those streets. So this long and difficult war has now ended. You know, some people say 3,000 years, some people say 500 years, whatever it is. It's the granddaddy of them all. And in an unprecedented achievement, virtually the entire region has endorsed the plan that Gaza will be immediately demilitarized, that Hamas will be disarmed, and Israel's security will no longer be threatened in any way, shape, or form. So Israel, with our help, has won all that they can by force of arms. You've won. I mean, you've won. Now it's time to translate these victories against terrorists on the battlefield into the ultimate prize of peace and prosperity for the entire Middle East. It's about time you were able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Mr. Opposition Leader. I said he's a very nice opposition leader. I think. No, he's a nice man. Bibi, he's a nice man. Good. He knows what he's doing, right? No, a very nice guy. Well, see, now you can be a little bit nicer, Bibi, because you're not at war anymore, Bibi. But only by embracing the opportunities of this moment can we achieve our goal of ensuring that the horrors of recent years will never happen again. You don't want to have to go through this again. 8 years ago, I came to this region on a very special first trip abroad as the President of the United States. I came here very early at your request. I addressed the leaders of the Arab and Muslim world gathered in Saudi Arabia and said that it was time to build a future free of the grip of extremism and terror. And interestingly, right now, as soon as I'm finished, I'm quite late. You've kept me quite late between opposition leaders and Bibi's brilliant but very long speech. I thought I was going to run up here, make a speech, and then head to Egypt. It didn't work out, though. And you made a pretty long one, too, sir. But I liked what you all said. It could be worse. Supposing on top of it, I didn't like what you said. That would be no good, Ron, would it? Ron, you did a great job, by the way, Ron. Yeah. So I'm going to be meeting, actually, in a little while, I'm going to be meeting with the most powerful, the richest nations really in the world, although now with the tariffs, the United States is by far the richest nation in the world, as you probably have been reading. But the richest nations, most powerful nations, tremendous, headed by some tremendous people in many cases. Some cases I wouldn't say necessarily I would endorse, but I will tell you some incredible people that really helped us make this all possible. So I'll be going there. I'll be quite late. They might not be there by the time I get there, but we're going to give it a shot. But the journey we started back then led to the crushing defeat of the ISIS caliphate, to the monumental Abraham Accords, and ultimately to the historic ceasefire this week, in which many of those same nations really played a very pivotal role, I have to tell you. Steve will tell you that. Jared will tell you that. Together, we've shown that peace is not just a hope that we can dream about. It's a reality we can build upon day by day, person by person, and nation by nation. And because of that, the Middle East is finally ready to embrace its extraordinary potential. You have extraordinary potential in this region. It should now be clear to everyone throughout the region that decades of fomenting terrorism and extremism, jihadism and anti-Semitism have not worked. They haven't worked. They've been a disaster. They've just killed. They've killed. They've backfired completely and totally. They've just totally backfired. Everything that you thought, take it worst case, it's turned out to be worse than that. They have not worked. From Gaza to Iran, those bitter hatreds have delivered nothing but misery, suffering, failure, and death. They've served not to weaken Israel, but to annihilate the very forces that did the most to foment this hatred. And it's really, everybody that's tried it has become irrelevant. Meanwhile, we've seen those nations that set aside their differences, reached across ancient divides, and pursued engagement are now among the most successful in the region. They're getting along with Israel, and they're doing great. And I can tell you the 4 nations that joined the Abraham Accords early on, and you'd all be doing me a favor, and I'm going to be saying this in a little while to some other friends, would love you all to, is this right, Jared? Join up in the Abraham Accords. We have to join up and get together. You can have that whole thing filled out. We had a very weak administration, worst president in the history of our country by far. And Barack Obama was not far behind, by the way. And they did nothing with this incredible document, the Abraham Accords, but now you can fill them up. Now you have peace, you have people that really like Israel. I'll tell you what, and they like Israel a lot more today than they did even 5 weeks ago. You've made a lot of, you've come back. You've come back strong, because it was getting to be a little nasty out there in the world, and ultimately the world wins. You can't beat the world always. I would say to Bibi, it's now time. And he understood it better than anybody, because ultimately, the world's a very big place. And I've said a lot. I said, this piece of land is very small. It's unbelievable what you've done with that tiny, you look at a map even of just not the world, the Middle East, and you have this little dot. And think of what you've done. It's incredible. It's incredible. But the world is loving Israel again. And I said to Bibi, the world is big and it's strong. And Ron, ultimately, the world wins. And we don't have to worry about that now. But there was getting to be a period of time over the last few months, the world wanted peace and Israel wanted peace. Everybody did. Everybody did. And what a victory it's been, right? What a victory it's been. If you would have gone on for 3, 4 more years, keep fighting, it was getting bad. It was getting heated. The timing of this is brilliant. And I said, Bibi, you're going to be remembered for this far more than if you kept this thing going, kill. It would be it would not be the same. And I just want to congratulate you for having the courage to say, that's it, we've won, and now let's enjoy our lives and let's rebuild Israel and make it stronger and bigger and better than it's ever been before. You're going to do that. Took a lot of guts. And the choice for Palestinians could not be more clear. This is their chance to turn forever from the path of terror and violence. It's been extreme, to exile the wicked forces of hate that are in their midst, and I think that's going to happen. I've met some people over the last couple of months that want to see it happen very much, and after tremendous pain and death and hardship, now is the time to concentrate on building their people up instead of trying to tear Israel down. We don't want that to happen again.
Heard President Trump there speaking to the Israeli parliament earlier today, talking about those 20 Israeli hostages who were taken out of Gaza. This is all part of that ceasefire deal agreement that President Trump was so instrumental in being a part of. But if you were watching it live, then you saw that there was something, a disruption of sorts that happened, right in the middle of one of his speech. So he was making some remarks, and a man was forced to leave, or told that for disrupting the president. He was identified as a far-right Israeli politician, so we caught that moment on camera too. Listen into that.
I mean, I know some negotiators that are so good, but you wouldn't have had peace in the Middle East. It would be in World War III right now with some of these guys. Everybody loves Steve, and they respect him, and they somehow can relate to him. I've known him for many years, and I've seen it over and over again.
להוציא את חבר הכנסת עודה, להוציא אותו מהאולם, להוציא אותו מיד, החוצה.
Please expel this Knesset member. Please expel this Knesset member.
להוציא גם את חבר הכנסת כסיף. להוציא את חבר הכנסת כסיף מהאולם.
Expel Knesset member Kasif out of the hall. Please expel him immediately.
Sorry for that, Mr. President.
That was very efficient.
Yeah, certainly was. Didn't take him long to be all over that, but that all happened right in the middle. You might have heard the president reference someone named Steve, honestly, quite a few times during what was happening there. He was talking about U.S. Special Envoy to the Middle East, Steve Edkoff, who was part of bringing peace there to the Middle East, referenced quite a bit in the president's conversation there. But after his speech, the president left Israel. He headed to Egypt. He landed there on Air Force One for that peace deal signing ceremony. And what you're seeing right now is a live look at President Trump meeting other dignitaries there from the Middle East. They're gathering soon for the signing of that peace deal and to talk more about what the future of Gaza could look like after this devastating war and the role that Hamas will play on that. So some very important conversations that are happening on this very busy day for President Trump, again, beginning in Israel and ending his day there in Egypt for these peace talks to continue. So we will keep you updated on what comes of that. You can stay with us right here on Fox Local and on fox5atlanta.com. for the very latest. So we appreciate you tuning in to be able to share that with you. But still ahead this morning, have you heard of catfishing? You've heard of those phishing scams that impact so many consumers locally, but have you heard about the latest scam in deep fakes? So it's become a big problem, and it's surprising a lot of people, these AI-powered scams. So that's what we're going to take a look at in 2 minutes. Welcome back, everyone. All right, it's Halloween season, which means that you might be considering hitting up a haunted house, but there's one that has been scaring people for 15 years. We're talking about Canton's Paranoia Haunted House, and it draws huge crowds. This place is legendary, and for good reason, too. So our Paul Milliken headed there this morning to check it out, and he's giving us a peek inside.
Hey everybody, well, unfortunately this might be the last time you ever hear from Paul Milliken because I'm about to go in, people. We're hanging out at Paranoia Haunted House this morning. Hanging out sounds so nice, doesn't it? And then you see things like that behind me. So this is one of the most popular Halloween season attractions, not just in North Georgia, but oh boy, I feel a tickle on my back. That's not good, is it? In the entire state. Always voted one of the best in the region, and there's a reason. They know what they're doing here. This place has been around for 15 years now, and there are two separate walk-through attractions if you can actually get through the whole thing. Oh, those are just straight up shears, aren't they? With blood on them. Okay, so the first one, the one that we're taking you through, is called Meltdown right now. There's another one called Sanctum that's a little more haunted house. This one is scary, it's gory, it is straight up horror movie, and I think it's time that we go in. So if you want to visit Paranoia Haunted House, it's very easy. Tickets available online. You can get combo tickets, you can get Fast Pass tickets. I recommend Fast Pass just because the sooner you get through it, the better chance you have of staying alive. Oh no, I don't know what that is. Wow, I was not expecting that face, and I don't like it, nor was I expecting these things around me to actually be moving. Oh dear, that's a very tall blade. That's a very tall blade, like literally taller than me. So we're gonna try to make a beeline for that archway there, and I'm sure we'll be going to a safe space over here, right? This must be much, much safer this way. Oh no, I think we have wandered into, Oh no, I don't like air cannons. They get me every time, even when I know they're coming. And there are lots of those around here. There's loud noises, there's flashing lights, and there are creatures that you just really didn't want to see, like this doctor who seems to be doing open heart surgery, and the open heart part, well, that's literal. And then the nurse over here, you know, a hacksaw in a hospital setting, that makes me nervous. I'm good with my whole body. I really am. I'm in good health. I don't need a checkup. Oh, we've got pliers, I think, for the dental work there. And she seems to have maybe some skin issues going on there, which makes me a little concerned. So here's the thing, everybody. If you never hear from me again, you know at least I was having fun when it was the last time. Paranoia Haunted House, come visit if you dare. Get that guy, the one behind the camera. He wants you. He needs a checkup. Medical checkup right there. Yep. Big time.
Oh, all right. We're assuming Paul Milliken survived that. But again, that is Paranoia Haunted House. It's located at 2075 Marietta Highway in Canton. So Paul says combo tickets are $35. Fast Pass combo tickets, $60. And if you need the dates and the times for to go check this out, if you're brave enough to do that, we've got the links at fox5atlanta.com. Just look under the Good Day section. Paranoia Haunted House in Canton. We'll be right back. Four, three. Welcome back, everyone. I want to get you to back to one of the big stories that we're following for you this morning. Police are still looking for that 6-month-old baby boy who's missing out of Clayton County. Here's what we know about this. Officers responded to an apartment complex off Valley Hill Road. This is in unincorporated Riverdale just before 8:30 on Sunday morning. The baby boy that you're seeing on your screen right there is Nakai Pratt, again, 6 months old. Investigators spent much of the day concentrating on a unit where neighbors say Nakai's father lives. Now, later in the day, Fox 5 saw police vehicles following 2 cars that were towed away from the complex. And if you were watching that video before, you saw it looked like the trunk had been popped on one of those cars. Clayton County police have no idea who could have taken Nakai. They tell us they have no suspect. There's no vehicle description in this. So we spoke with a neighbor. Let's listen in to what she had to say.
But I did know he had twins recently, but I have never seen them. Don't even know what they look like. We didn't know nothing till the police started coming around here. And then when they started talking to
So what that neighbor was talking about, it sounds glitchy to me. So if it sounds glitchy to you at home, she mentioned that they were gathered around the trunk of that car. So that being, it appeared to her to be a focal point of their investigation. She mentioned she didn't know that the father had the baby. So yes, this is an investigation that still continues. Police are saying Nakai weighs about 11 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, just as you see in that picture. They say he was last seen wearing a brown onesie. So again, this all happening in unincorporated Riverdale in Clayton County, and Clayton County Police has taken the lead on this investigation. So another story that we're following for you this morning, a teenager is in surgery and fighting for his life after getting shot in East Atlanta. This happened last night. Police are saying it happened off of Flat Shoals Road near an intersection with 3 gas stations surrounding it. This was a little after 11 p.m. Witnesses told police a vehicle rolled up to a group of friends who were walking in the area and started shooting. And that's when they say that 16-year-old boy was hit. Investigators say the teen lives nearby when this happened. They say that the friends that were part of that group took off running. So police are saying they've gotten conflicting vehicle descriptions. They're still trying to sort through that information and also gathering about 10 shell casings from the scene. Investigators are also going to look through one of those 3 gas station cameras to try to get some footage of what might have happened. But again, a 16-year-old shot in East Atlanta, so we're staying on top of that for you. And also the news that State Representative Mandy Ballinger has passed away, we're told, after a battle with cancer. So she represented Georgia's 23rd district. And let me clear this banner out for you. I'm trying to get that, but my mouse is a little bit messed up if y'all are able to take that. There we go. So we spoke from the governor. The governor issued a statement yesterday saying Representative Ballinger was a, quote, passionate leader who was respected across the political aisle as an advocate for justice in our state. Wondering if you're wondering what some of the legislation that Ballinger was known for, it was her work on campus carry legislation, introducing the final bill in 2017 that allowed individuals with carry permits to take those firearms onto college campuses. So again, this news coming that State Representative Mandy Ballinger, who represented Georgia's 23rd district, has passed away after a battle with cancer. Well, now to news from the Arthur M. Blank Family Foundation, announcing a $50 million donation in scholarships to HBCUs here in Atlanta. It's going to support about 10,000 students with what they call GAP scholarships. It means they're looking for students who've exhausted all of their financial support. They're struggling to finish college, maybe don't have too much left to go, but they want to be able to finish. So if they're also in good academic standing, they could be a good candidate for this. The goal, they say, is to raise graduation rates at Clark Atlanta University, at Morehouse, at Morris Brown College, and at Spelman College as well. The foundation's president is calling the grants a material investment in hope, and it sounds like that's exactly what this is. So this comes just a few days after the Trump administration promised to redirect nearly $500 million in federal funding toward HBCUs and tribal colleges. So again, $50 million in donations going to help students with these GAP scholarships at area HBCUs. All right, bringing it back out here. Thank you so much for joining us on the stream on this Monday. We appreciate you taking the time to be with us. We've got you covered on the noon show. In addition to the forecast here locally, there'll also be talk of that nor'easter that's impacting the East Coast. So if you have a trip planned, that's something to stick around to get the latest on that. But again, thanks for being with us, and we hope you have a great Monday.